Okay, verse and devotion for today. Again, Mark chapter 1, verses 35 through 39 is what it is. The key verse is verse 38. Jesus replied, "Let us go somewhere else to the nearby villages so I can preach there also. That is why I have come." Jesus came to teach and preach. He was trying to help the disciples understand what he was doing, why he was doing it, and in return, that way they would learn. And once they learned, they could go and do the same kind of thing. In my years, I have noticed it does not happen overnight. It just doesn't. You can accept Jesus and understand that love and that he died for you and accept him. But learning the process of what Jesus was trying to teach them is a process. Like I just said, it's a process. And it takes time. It takes effort. It takes experience. And he had to be very diligent and very intentional in front of them. And if you notice that, you have to be that way with children, with anybody that's new at something. If you take them and introduce them to something new, you have to be very precise and get down to their level and show them. That's the best way to teach somebody that. And so that's what he was doing. He wasn't just talking. I mean, he came to preach, but he was showing them what to do and how to do it. And then in return, they were learning, okay, and they were watching. So, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. You know, he had the whole town before this. I'm sure he was tired, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. He needed to recharge his batteries, so to speak. Sunday mornings, Wednesday nights, I'm tired. You know, you're teaching, you're serving people, you're going, and you're giving. And that's what Jesus had done that whole night before, because the whole town came to him. He was healing the sick. He was casting out the demons. And his flesh, his physical body was, I'm sure, tired, even though he was in his 30s. He was tired. He was worn out. So he had to recharge his batteries physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So that's why he went to pray. And let me tell you, you can't do nothing without praying. You just can't do it. And I know he was, also God, but he had the humanness to him as well. So he needed to go pray. 36, Simon and his companions went to look for him. And when they found him, they explained, "Everyone is looking for you." Jesus replied, "Let us go somewhere else to the nearby villages so I can preach there also. That is why I have come." So he traveled throughout Galilee, preaching in their synagogues and driving out demons. He had to go pray because he knew his life was going this at that point in time. He was a living physical book for them. They were watching everything he did. They were soaking up everything he did. And he had to have prayer time in order to do this. Because next he's going to Galilee and he's preaching and he's casting out demons all throughout Galilee, okay? He was a busy dude. And every time he turned around, there was somebody else or droves of somebody else's that were there looking at him and paying attention to him and wanting what he had. They needed it. They were in desperate need of his teaching, of his miracles, and that's what he was there for. He was there to love them and show them how awesome God really was. So